Welcome to the Cinema Twins review of Split. Now, this review is going to be spoiler-free, so no worries. You can watch this, decide if you want to go see the movie. You do, then you can come back here and watch our spoiler review so that you can just dive into the story a little bit more. Now, Split was directed by M. Night Shyamalan, and some would say it was a return to form of sorts. And we will get into whether we think that is true or not.
We do.
But M. Night Shyamalan has had a bit of a dip for a while of not so great films, and people have been really discouraged by his turnout until now. Split is about a man who has 23 different personalities, and one of those personalities decides to kidnap these 3 girls. And things occur from there on out, and the girls kind of realize what kind of a situation they're in. One of them is a little smarter than the other 2.
She's more seasoned.
Yes, she's been through stuff, and you learn about her past as well in the form of flashbacks throughout the film. And that's as much as I really want to say, because you really need to go see it. Ashley, give us some of your thoughts on Split.
Okay, so my favorite thing about Split, well, actually I have a lot of favorite things about Split. The cinematography was wonderful. I really appreciated it, and the story was fantastic. I had problems as the story progressed, but the way the film ended seemed to resolve a lot of that. And I'm talking slowly because I'm trying not to give anything away, because I feel like this is really a movie that you need to go in blind to. You know, like and just because I really wish that the trailers hadn't shown so much, because when you're going in there and you see these girls kind of like unravel what's going on with this person who has kidnapped them, they're like, oh my God, like we're really in some trouble. Like,
well, yeah, and the tension isn't as much there, and it has nothing to do with the movie. The movie builds great tension. It's the fact that the trailer showed you everything. I think they pushed a little too hard, like, hey, please go see this movie because you'll actually really like it. You know, so because with M. Night Shyamalan, you always expect a twist anyways, and like, as I went into this movie, I expected a twist ending, but this twist ending is very different. It's very different from anything that M. Night has really done before. So it's not the typical like, oh, this whole plot has been turned upside down. So I knew exactly where the movie was going because of the trailer, which I was not a fan of.
It's a very nuanced twist, though, to me, because and I mean, we wouldn't be talking so much about the twist in the spoiler review in the spoiler-free review if it wasn't M. Night Shyamalan. But going into one of his movies, you pretty much know there's going to be one, and I think that that's what's holding people back. But this one, it's very worth it. It changes the story just enough to where you're like, oh, that is exactly the tweak I needed to come out loving this movie. And
the movie goes from good to great very quickly, with the ending. And
for me, it went from good to great to okay to fantastic. It was a roller coaster of emotions. I remember I saw this movie with my boyfriend, and I was like, this going towards the end, and then I was like, it invigorates you, the way that this movie kind of takes twists and turns and goes with its ups and downs. I think it's a testament to M. Night Shyamalan's directing. I think that he has still got it, and that he's going to come back with this.
Yeah, I think it definitely shows that he needs to stick to kind of these smaller films a little bit, rather than having huge budget did not suit him. But you know, we're talking a lot about the ending and a lot about the twist and everything, but just as a standalone movie by itself, it does a great job. There's great suspense. The movie looks good. It's filmed well. The actresses are, the main one,
Anya
Anya
Taylor-Joy.
Taylor-Joy.
She's amazing.
She's great. She does a great job. We loved her in The Witch, obviously.
It was weird seeing her with black hair.
Yeah.
I was like,
but she did a great job. The other two girls were good.
I thought they were believable in the roles that they were supposed to be playing.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. But James
honestly,
McAvoy.
Well, just to go back to the three girls, Anya Taylor-Joy had a considerably more meaty role.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I think that
I agree.
I think that those actresses were good, and I thought that they served their purpose. But
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy obviously stole the show out of the three girls. But as we
James
were going,
McAvoy, oh my goodness, he blew me away. You know, you look at all these actors who, there are many movies where an actor will try to do more than one role. And specifically with multiple personalities, I think before this, Toni Collette, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
She has done it best in United States of Terror because that show is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And James McAvoy also does really well in this film, as you can see the subtle changes, and even as he's playing one personality playing a different personality, you see like these little subtleties, and it's really a testament to his acting power.
Mm-hmm. And I think that the best thing about it was, like you said, the subtleties. And I think that this movie did a very good job with the subtleties. I think that it wasn't super in your face. You know, it was suspenseful when it needed to be. It was heartfelt when it needed to be. And it slowed down when it needed to. I thought that the pacing of this movie was the best I've seen from him in a long time. I loved it. Now, going back to James McAvoy, do you think, now I know this movie came out in January. Do you think that performance could hold long enough for him to get Oscar attention?
No. I don't think so, specifically because of the kind of movie it is.
It is, but just his performance alone, though, was so strong. And with him switching back and forth so quickly,
we'll see. I'm going to say a hard no on that, but...
I'm going to say a hard maybe.
But, I wish, because he did such a great job.
He made the movie for me. He really did, because if you didn't believe him, this whole thing would crumble. And I also have to ask, I think that we have to address this, the kind of controversy that's been going on with this movie, with them portraying this illness in a harsh way.
I have very strong feelings about that, and here's why.
Me too.
I would totally understand why people would be angry with the way mental illness is portrayed in this movie if it did not end the way it did.
Exactly.
I
think that a lot of people don't understand it.
I will say this, we will address the controversy more in our spoiler review, because that it's easier to talk about in the spoiler review to understand why there's no reason to be angry.
There's no reason to boycott this movie. You should go see it. It is. And
were people boycotting? Jeez.
Yeah. It's just like, people are like, oh, well, I'm not going to go see that because of this. I heard multiple people say that. I'm like, number one, guys, like, I understand that things need to be portrayed this way, but this is so clearly an outlandish movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is so clearly not trying to be real.
Suspension of disbelief. Like, you have to go
Exactly.
into certain films with that, and this is one of those. Like, it's not a realistic film. Like, it's not. That being said, character motivation is very clear for every character, and character motivation becomes more clear through the storytelling, which is done really well.
And I think that especially with Anya Taylor-Joy, it's like this situation that she was in when she was younger and things. As you start to learn that, I thought that he handled it really well. It could have been handled sloppily. Like, it could have felt really choppy at points. But it really, because there's parts where, like, she'll say something and you're like, why would she say that? Like, how, what? And then, like, you go back and you're like, oh, it's because of her past that she knows these things. And I thought that her character was really strong in that way. And I thought that it was a very interesting kind of study about people who have had who have had difficult situations in their lives and how that makes them stronger.
Yeah,
and I thought
learn
that
from it.
that was a very good message of this movie, and I thought that it was one of my favorite things about the movie. Just there were so many layers to it. There's the M. Night Shyamalan suspenseful twist layer, and then there's the more human side of it, and then there's the super outlandish side of it, which is with the illness, of course.
Yeah.
And I just it makes me mad that people are like getting angry at this movie because it's so clearly not trying to do
well,
that.
I think that overall, Split was a fantastic movie. It's a great thriller to go see. It keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time. Definitely go see it.
Mm-hmm. I would say that I didn't really have a whole ton of faults, other than the fact that I liked the therapist, but I felt like we could have had less scenes of her by herself. You know what I mean? I don't know. I thought that I really liked the way her and James McAvoy played off of each other, but other than that, I was just kind of like, oh, I want to get back to the story there. But I
didn't think there were too many scenes with her by herself. I mean, I thought she was there for what she needed to be there for, and I really liked her character. I liked her play with James McAvoy, but yeah, Squirt.
Yeah. Overall, I will give it an 8.7 out of 10. I really loved it. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 8 out of 10 for Split. So go check it out and then come back, check out our spoiler review. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.